Hi, Mark Anthony here to show you some intelligent information about pans. And there's so many different types of pans out there. I just wanted to give you some real insight about what to buy and what not to buy. Let me start with the worst pans first. And there's these aluminum pans, which is the thing I absolutely stay away from. Of course, aluminum has been linked with Alzheimer's and so many different problems. Leaching into the food. There's also other ways you can get aluminum, but those are a definite no-no. There's also the aluminum ones that are covered with Teflon. Now, the problem with these is, as you can tell, in no time at all, they're going to end up looking like this. And this one right here, you're not only getting the Teflon in your body, which is linked to some cancers and the fumes and everything, you're also getting back to the aluminum. So that's a no-no. This one right here, ceramic ones, I stay away from the ceramic. They start pitting and having the same problems of peeling off, and then you've got a rusted aluminum underneath it. And and then the glass ones. So I stay away from all of those, definitely. Let me share these with you real quick here. When it comes to Teflon, you've got Teflon coated pans like this, which sometimes commercially, if I'm doing a show, I used to use those a lot. I started using these, which is a titanium. Now the titanium pans is a solid titanium, but it does have this disc on the bottom. Some people call these discs ironclad, which it's really not. It's actually, that's a whole different definition, or all clad. This is actually a disc that goes on the bottom of the pan. And so these are actually pretty good. The problem is, after a little while, I end up with all these pits. If you can see those pits coming through here, pit. It's actually parts of the metal coming up, and I mean big chunks. And these are expensive pans. These are lifetime pans, $100 a pan. And I've went through 4 of them, you know, because I cook a lot, sometimes every day doing my cooking shows and things. So those babies are better, but still not even close to the quality that we need to have. Now, if I talk about stainless pans, let me go with the worst ones here. This is a stainless pan right here, and very thin, very cheap stainless. And look at this, the handles. I was actually smelling something burning in the kitchen, and I come in there and sure enough, the handle was burning. And so that's what happens with some of these. And so that is definitely a cheap metal, very lightweight, cheap stainless, sure, but not a very good one. This one right here, a lot better quality of a stainless. It does have the rivets. These are rivets that come through to the other side, which is a cleaning problem, and the list goes on with that. It does have the disc on the bottom, the heating element. And what this does is it actually helps conduct heat, because the problem with stainless is that things can burn a lot faster because of this direct heat content. So when you got the discs on there, it helps keep things from burning. So that's the way that one is. Next on the list would have to be, this is a T304 stainless surgical steel. There's different types of surgical steel. The T304, this is a brand new pan, which is a good pan. This is a good pan. They're going to run sometimes a couple $100s for these pans. Good and bad. You know, this one does have the disc on the bottom to help conduct the heat better, but it also has this groove here. If you see this groove, I could actually stick my knife in there, and which I don't like that groove, because it actually can get caught with particles and things like that. And the other thing is, it doesn't have a handle that is removable, so this handle is going to get worn out. And by the way, these discs right here do separate eventually. Sometimes it takes quite a few years, but I've seen them many times in the commercial kitchens, and these discs will separate from the pan, and then you've got a wasted pan. But they're good. That's a good one. The best one is this Salad Master brand. This is a T316 surgical steel. It's the strongest surgical steel that you can possibly buy, and I've used this many times. Now this does not have the disc on the bottom that will separate. So you have to be careful when you're cooking because you can burn things pretty fast. You know, if I'm doing a big pot, you know, like I do my big commercial pots, I would never use a pan like this because I've got to crank that thing up and get it done. Now for home use, you're not going to have a problem using this type of pan. You just have to remember not to crank it on full blast. In fact, these things are designed where they conduct so much better on the heat that you don't need to have that higher temperature and it'll still work great. So that's a really good pan. There's different types here. This is, and by the way, they look fabulous even after I've used them for, you know, quite a few years. I've got a whole set, as you can tell. This is your saute pan, which, yeah, I've used this time and time. And they've got cleaners and stuff, but let me tell you, like I said, I share with you the reality of the kitchen. And even after using this for years, it still works fabulous, looks like brand new. The thing I like about these, removable handles. Look at that. You can remove these handles and boom, put them right in the oven, which you cannot do that with any of these other pans. So that is a huge plus. So anyway, this is the way it is. They've got great lids on them that have the little air valve so it gets a little pressure if you're going to go greaseless, waterless, that type of thing. So anyway, there's the pans you don't want to use, the aluminums, the Teflon coateds. Then there's the stainless steels that are really cheap. There's some better ones. This one here is probably the better one of the better ones. But then you've got the best, which is the Salad Master. There's no two ways about it. You're going to spend a little more money for these. But let me tell you, for the price that I bought 4 of these pans, I could have just bought 1 of these. And it's good for, you know, life. You're never going to have a problem with this. And with the removable handles and everything, it is just a huge plus. I would say that if you're going to buy pans, go with the best. Because over the years, as you replace, you're going to spend more money, way more money, buying all these cheap pans than if you just would have bought a good set in the first place. So in the long run, you're going to save money. Then you're also talking about value. These things do not lose their value. I've looked around and to buy them used, it's almost the same price as buying them new. But you don't get the warranty when you buy the used ones, that type of thing. So you're better off just buy a new set. You'll be so thrilled with it, and they'll last you a lifetime. Pass them on to your kids. And plus, here's the other plus, this does not leach the chemicals into your body like all these other pans do. So if you're really concerned about your health, get the pans that are not leaching these chemicals, because there are major problems with all these chemicals that are coming into the body. So that's why I use the Salad Master more than anything. I don't get paid by them. I don't work for them or anything. I just want to share with you what we need to do to live a healthier life. And one of the things we can do is by getting better sets of pans. For one, your food is going to taste better, so that's a big plus as well. And you got something that's going to last. So Mark Anthony, we'll see you next time in the kitchen.